Hi, it's Lee Solden again. This is live at World Languages Facebook page, August 7th, 2020. This is Lee Solden. I am doing a series of lectures, 5 o'clock U.S. Eastern Time every day, um, on teaching Dutch. And I'm teaching Dutch along with my language partner Slash Depover. He's the one doing the video end of it for me. Um, I'm teaching it through natural language acquisition, specifically a type of that I came up with by accident starting uh, December of 2018, ending mostly end of March 2019, although I kept trying to improve it up till November 1 of 2019. I didn't really make a lot of improvements. I kept trying to, but I found that the way that I was teaching people starting about the end of March was the way to go. I just was trying to find other ways to make it easier, but I'm always looking for time efficiency, and I could not find a way to make it more time efficient than what I had found by the end of March. So about November 1, since I have put actually about 6 months where I'm trying to use my own system to learn myself, I've really only got an average of like 1 weekend per language. So what I know is what I know. Okay. Listen, I studied German for many, many years. Same with Spanish, French for several years. But I always learned one language at a time and tended to forget the last one. Well, now that I found this system, it works so efficiently. I realize there's no reason I can't study all 12. However, I'm trying to study all 12, and I'm also teaching all 12. And I actually spend more time teaching and then a whole lot of time teaching other people this method versus learning on my own. So, well, I've gotten a lot done. Um, Even as I'm learning how this system works and trying to improve it, I was learning some stuff. I was learning German and Portuguese in particular during that time. I was attempting to learn a lot of Arabic and Russian. I learned some. I didn't have the method down right yet. But I mean, I spent altogether between Hindi and Arabic and Russian about 7 months there, where I really wasn't doing things right. I was learning how. I was learning if I could do something a more efficient way, and there just isn't. It's kind of a dead end. So, kind of wasted several months there. But now I just full bore teach this system. I believe in it. I've taught hundreds of people this system. I've had like 400 people get some benefit out of it. Does that mean I taught 400 people languages from front to end? But a whole lot of people have started the habit of passive listening to a language to boost their learning. A whole lot of people, hundreds, at least a couple hundred people, have ear tuned into a language so they can hear it better. And then beyond that, some people stuck with it various lengths of times doing the read through portions. Tend to lose a whole lot of college students that all of a sudden they get really busy. I try to tell them, you can incorporate language learning into your college schedule without actually taking any time from your college schedule. But I lose a lot of people to apps because once they can hear everything really good, then regardless of how you pick it up, I mean, if you hear the language just right and you're in the habit of doing a lot of passive listening, then whatever active input you put into that mix is going to work. So my whole system is not the only way to learn languages. I recommend it, but I also am very well. You're very welcome to take any part of my system if it helps you use it. Great, that's great. Use as much as you can. Um, okay, I'm not sure exactly what the last video cut off. I'm going to hope that I got the explanation of the first 1 minute in there before it cut off. I'll check later. If not, I'll know where to start for tomorrow. Okay. But and then I started talking about read throughs. Okay. I gave you some material to learn, and I don't want you to learn it by studying it. I want you to learn it by doing read throughs. And what a read through is a way to associate a known language to the target language. And I read through if you're a total beginner, I said, look through the notes on the first sentence. I'm gonna start right there, do that over in case I got cut off. So, goeie dag, hi, beste kijkers. Best is just best. Kijkers means onlookers. So kijken means to look. Okay, so kijkers, onlookers. So that's like saying ladies and gentlemen, beste kijkers. Okay. Ik maak dit filmpje. I'm making this film om, okay, I make, dit, this, filmpje, this film. It's like it's a little film. So I got that little y at the end of it. For, just clearing his throat. Lee, that's me. Te, to, helpen. That's verb to help. Same verb in English and in Dutch. Okay. So you look that over and then you listen 3 times to that sentence while you're reading it and you're seeing if you understand it. On the ear tuning exercises, you're only worried about what sounds you're hearing. Now you're just worrying about, do you understand it? Okay. And the first day, you may not understand it when you hear it spoken at full speed, even while you're reading it, because your brain is not ready to process the Dutch that quickly. But as you go to bed that night and you try to, you wake up the next day, your speech center will have worked on it for you. And now when you play the same sentence while reading it, maybe you understand a lot better, okay? I know you're going to understand it somewhat better by experience. This always works. This is exactly how everyone learns their own language, so it really can't not work. So anyway, so I don't expect you to spend a whole lot of time learning that sentence. You introduce yourself to what it means. You listen to it while reading about 3 times. And then you close your eyes and just listen to it about 3 times. You are allowed to open your eyes to operate your computer or phone. But once you got it going, close your eyes and just listen carefully and see if you understand it. Don't worry if you don't, because you know what? Your speech center caught it. Your speech center thinks 20 times faster than you because it's part of your subconscious. So which your subconscious is 20 times faster than your conscious mind. Okay. So you might not have caught it, but your subconscious caught it. Furthermore, if you're doing what I'm telling you, which is looping this for several hours a day, your speech center is also getting this input over and over again. Okay, so between getting that repeated input and the passive listening, and the fact that you took a few minutes to introduce yourself to the sentence, guess what? You're going to know a lot of Dutch tomorrow from that sentence, and it's going to seem more natural to you. And it may not be the first day, or the second, or the third, but a couple of weeks later, you're going to hear this sentence spoken by my buddy Slash here, and you're going to understand it. And meanwhile, you're going to be learning one sentence after another, after another, after another. And you don't care that you learn anything the day you're first introduced to it. All you care about is, are you learning it over a period of time? And you will. And I tell you why. Your speech center is designed for that. Your speech center is designed to take all this language around you, which is repetitive, because there's only like 500 words spoken in a household, basically, over, and then the same words get used over and over again, right? So it's all repetitive, and that's what the speech center is designed to do. Take all this repetitive listening and turn it into an ability for you to understand the language. Now, I must say this, that depends. If you have done the ear tuning and you got a good ear for Dutch, yeah, now See, kids don't skip that step. Kids are surrounded by the language. They hear all these repeated phrases from their parents. Hey, here's your bottle, here's your bottle, here's your bottle, or daddy's home, daddy's home, daddy's home. They keep hearing this kind of stuff over and over and over again. And between that constant repetition of phrases and being surrounded by the language, a child's ear tunes into the language, okay? Then all that repetition soaks in, the language soaks in, okay? So it's ear first, and I refer to my system as ear first learning, okay? And again, by the way, I give a title to my particular system. I call it accelerated immersion, because it's like immersion. In immersion, you are surrounded with the language. But I call it accelerated immersion because my system doesn't take any chances. You go into Germany for a visit, and everybody there might want to talk to you in German, but maybe not. Maybe they all want to talk to you in English to practice their English if you're an English speaker, okay? But with my system, you are going to be surrounding yourself with the German by listening to it passively for several hours a day. You are going to be getting associations consistently every day doing these read throughs, telling you what the stuff means, okay? And before long, you're going to know a lot of Dutch, just like any child would know a lot of Dutch if they were born into a Dutch speaking household. So, again, for a total beginner, you do one sentence, about 3 times listening while reading, 3 times just listening, and you go on to the next sentence. This is not studying. You don't just keep trying to listen to it over and over and over till you get it. There's no reason for that. Trust your speech center. Just listen a few times while reading, then listen with your eyes closed a few times, then sleep on it overnight. Move on to the next sentence, okay? Your speech center is amazing. I call it this language supercomputer. Use it. And another thing I tell people, really, all I'm doing is telling people how to use the supercomputer they're born with for languages, called the speech center. Okay, I'm telling you what inputs does it need, what order do those inputs have to come, and they have to come in this order. The language surrounding the child, so that the speech center starts getting the basic beat of the language, followed by the repeated phrases over and over again, so the speech center can lock in on those repeated phrases and keep digging into them every night, keep building paradigms to hear those repeated phrases better and better. And all of a sudden, boom, the child's ear, or my student's ear, is tuned into the language. So you got to do that first. Then you continue the passive listening along with, now you're introducing meaning, such as by saying what something means in a known language just before hearing the target language. A kid is going to start out with gestures, faces the mother's making, uh, actions that the other children are making, what did the child do just now, etc. What smells there are, what sounds are in the room, everything. Speech centers picking it all up and creating meaning. But for new words, the speech center is looking at any known words, okay, to figure out what the new word means. Well, an adult already has a whole language, so hey, all you got to do is take the known language, get in your mind what does that target language sentence mean, and then listen to it. That's way more information than the speech center normally gets. It's like information overload, more than it could possibly need. You are going to pick up the language if you do this. Okay. So if you're a total beginner, you one sentence after another, 3 times reading, 3 times listening after you look over the notes. Okay. And when you get to the end of whatever material you have, go back to the beginning and do the same thing. And I tell people do about a half hour of read throughs, listen passively for 2 hours, go ignore it while it's playing. If they get more than 2 hours of passive listening in, stop, do another half hour of active listening, and then with the read throughs. On top of that, this person's doing ear tuning exercises when he wakes up maybe a half hour, another half hour before it goes to bed. Altogether, I try to tell people to keep a 5-to-1 ratio of 5 times more um, passive listening versus active listening. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if you listen to if you look at the math I just told you, it sounds like more like 3-to-1 because I'm doing ear tuning exercises, read throughs, and then passive listening. Well, hey, sometimes you're going to be listening to miscellaneous items that you're not actually learning. So there's extra passive listening beyond what you're trying to learn at the moment. So again, it's going to come out to a 5-to-1 ratio. I don't expect you to only listen to the audiobook in Dutch that I want you to learn here from what Slash is saying, the 7-minute video. Oh, by the way, which I just attached, I just posted that to the first um, uh, video I did today. I posted Slash's 7-minute video. So please start listening to that, loop it, and then when you can start doing the read throughs if you want to, but you can wait until you hear it really good after you've listened passively for 21 hours, after you've done my ear tuning exercises for a few days. You're going to hear this really well. And the read throughs are more efficient. Now, doesn't mean you can't start now, but they're going to be a lot more efficient. And I don't like to waste people's time. If you're not in a hurry, just wait until you've done the passive listening. Wait until you've done the ear tuning exercises, and then start doing the read throughs. You can come back to this video right here, and yesterday, excuse not this one, excuse me. You can go back to the one I did earlier, and the one I did yesterday covers the first 1 minute, and I'll be covering more and more each day that I do this. Now, I told people I'm going to try to incorporate other languages into this learning. Eventually, I'm going to have files in a written form saying what each sentence means. And those it's not going to be files, it's going to be comments attached to the video on YouTube. So anyone can go to the comments below the video and they will get a detailed sentence by sentence breakdown of what each thing means. Okay, which each sentence means and why. The what the verbs mean, the infinitive of the verb if that's applicable, etc. So they'll all be in written form. But I need to keep it organized, and I think I can do that because you can comment to comments, right? Well, okay, so I'll have one comment showing English speakers what each sentence means, and then as I add more and more videos or more explanations to a video, I just keep adding that to a comment to the first comment for English. Then I have another comment, like a main comment. I'll have it, what the Italian is, and then I'll answer to that comment, putting all the explanations in Italian of what the Dutch sentences mean, etc. Okay, and I'll be using Google and whatnot. I'm not really good at Italian or well any language. I'm not saying I'm this. I can't claim fluency in any language right now. I mean, I used to be somewhat fluent in German, French, and Spanish in the past. I haven't been practicing enough. A lot of these languages I completely dropped for long periods of time, and just recently took them all. It's quite recent, like November 1, that I'm studying all 12 at the same time. Okay, and again, I've only put like 1 week into it, so I'm not sharp on any of this stuff as far as being fluent. And I'm definitely going to use Google to help produce material. But I do know enough of these languages to know to read through what Google gave me and make sure it makes sense. Okay, I'm literate enough in all these languages that I can look at them and go, okay, Google didn't make any crazy error on me here. Okay, so I do double check stuff. And as far as any secrets go, well, I'm going to tell you exactly how well I can say these languages because I'm about to repeat what Slash said, okay, followed by, I don't know, I don't got so much time, so I'm gonna several other languages, okay? Okay, Portuguese first. Bom dia, queridos espectadores. Estou fazendo este vídeo para ajudar Lee. Ele me perguntou isso porque quer te conhecer com isso. Quero dizer pessoas que gostariam de aprender holandês como os materiais certos para aprender melhor. Ale, it's not in Portuguese, okay, so it's in the translated. De acordo com sua própria teoria. Desta forma que ele quer mostrar a você. Certifique-se de que você pode aprender naturalmente para que você possa aprender de uma forma legal e, talvez, até mais rápida. Para registro. Meu nome é Slash e sou da Bélgica. Agora estou na Flanders Ocidental. É a melhor coisa que posso fazer agora, acho, é começar do zero. Start from the beginning. Okay. I'm going to read it in Spanish. Buen día, queridos espectadores. Estoy haciendo este video para ayudar a Lee. Me pregunto eso porque quiere conocerte. Con eso me refiero a personas a las que les gustaría aprender holandés. Con los materiales adecuados para aprenderlo mejor. Ale, again, it's not in that language, okay. Según su propia teoría. De esta manera, que él quiere mostrarte, asegúrese de que pueda aprender de forma natural para que puedas aprenderlo de una manera genial y tal vez incluso de una manera más rápida. Para el registro. Mi nombre es Slash y soy de Bélgica. Ahora estoy en Flandes Occidental y lo mejor que puedo hacer ahora, creo, es empezar de... Okay, I go down a little bit. De cero, okay. Y entonces, ¿cómo llegué a los idiomas y conocí a Lee? Eso se remonta a varios años. Okay. German. Guten Tag, liebe Zuschauer. Ich mache dieses Video, zu helfen, Lee. Hat mich das gefragt, weil dich treffen will. Damit meine ich Leute, die Niederländisch lernen möchten, mit den richtigen Materialien, es besser zu lernen. Alle, again, not in German, okay. Nach seiner eigenen Theorie, okay. Auf diese Weise, dass dir zeigen will, stellen Sie sicher, dass Sie natürlich lernen können, damit du es auf coole Weise und vielleicht sogar schneller lernen kannst. Okay. Für die Auszeichnung, okay. Mein Name ist Slash. Ich komme aus Belgien. Ich bin jetzt in West Flanders und das Beste, was ich jetzt tun kann, ist von vorne anzufangen. Und okay. I'm getting some of this cut off. Okay. Okay, we got here at French. Okay. Bonne journée, chers téléspectateurs. Je fais cette vidéo pour aider Lee. Il m'a demandé cela parce qu'il veut vous rencontrer. J'entends parler des gens qui aimeraient apprendre le néerlandais avec les bons matériaux pour mieux l'apprendre. Allez, again, that word doesn't apparently exist anywhere except in his, okay, I don't know where, in Dutch maybe. Okay, selon sa propre théorie.